This is the story of the king's new clothes. Now, there was once a king who was absolutely insane about new clothes, and one day, two swindlers came to sell him what they said was a magic suit of clothes. Now, they held up this particular garment, and they said, "Your Majesty, this is a magic suit." Well, the truth of the matter is, there was no suit there at all. But the swindlers were very smart. And they said, "Your Majesty, to a wise man, this is a beautiful raiment. But to a fool, it is absolutely invisible." Oh, naturally, the king, not wanting to appear a fool, said, "Isn't it grand? Isn't it fine? Look at the cut, the style, the line. The suit, the clothes is all together, but all together, it's all together. The most remarkable suit, the clothes that I have ever seen. These eyes of mine at once determined, the sleeves are velvet, the cape is ermine, the hose are blue, and the doublet is a lovely shade of green." Lovely shade of green. Somebody sent for the queen. Well, they sent for the queen, and they quickly explained to her about the magic suit of clothes. And naturally, the queen, not wanting to appear a fool, said, "Well, isn't it rich? Look at the charm of every stitch. The suit of clothes is all together, but all together, it's all together. The most remarkable suit of clothes that I have ever seen. These eyes of mine at once determined, the sleeves are velvet, the cape is ermine, the hose are blue, and the doublet is a lovely shade of green." Lovely shade of green. Summon the court to convene. Well, the court convened, and you never in your life saw as many people as were at that court. All the ambassadors, the dukes, the earls, the counts, it was just black with people. And they were all told about the magic suit of clothes. And after they were told, they naturally didn't want to appear fools, and they said, "Isn't it absolutely? The suit of clothes is all together, but all together, it's all together. The most remarkable suit of clothes a tailor ever made. Now quickly, put it all together with gloves of leather and hat and feather. It's all together the thing to wear in Saturday's parade." Saturday's parade. Leading the Royal Brigade. Now Saturday came, and the streets were just lined with thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And they all were cheering as the artillery came by, the infantry marched by, the cavalry galloped by, and everybody was cheering like mad, except one little boy. You see, he hadn't heard about the magic suit and didn't know what he was supposed to see. Well, as the king came by, the little boy looked, and horrified, said, "Look at the king! Look at the king! Look at the king! The king! The king! The king isn't the altogether, but altogether, the altogether. He's altogether as naked as the day that he was born. The king isn't the altogether, but altogether, the altogether. It's altogether the very least the king has ever worn." Call the court physician, call an intermission. His Majesty is wide open to ridicule and scorn. The king isn't the altogether, but altogether, the altogether. He's altogether as naked as the day that he was born. And it's altogether 2 trillion more.
Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
Little Jackie Paper, well, he loved that rascal Puff, and he brought him strings and sealing wax and some other fancy stuff. Oh,
Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
together they would travel in a boat with billowed sail, and Jackie, he kept a lookout perched on Puff's gigantic tail. And noble kings and princes would bow whene'er they came, and pirate ships would lower their flag when Puff roared out his name. Oh,
Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked called Honolulu.
A dragon lives forever, but not so little boys. Painted wings and giant things just make way for some other toys. One grey night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more. And old Puff, the mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. His head was bent with sorrow, ring scales fell like rain. Puff no longer went to play along the cherry lane. Without his lifelong friend, Puff could not be brave. So Puff, the mighty dragon, sadly slipped into his cave. Oh,
Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
להדליק נר של חנוכה.
אמן.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשה ניסים לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה.
אמן.
Come gather round people wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone.
You'll love that movie though, Tanya.
Yeah.
What a
Oh,
movie.
guys, you gotta watch it first.
What?
You gotta watch it first.
What?
You gotta watch
Okay,
it.
condition you watch it for too.
You gotta watch
They don't
it.
watch the golf.
Yeah.
And there's no telling who that is naming. For the loser now will be later to win. For the times they are a-changing. Oh, senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall. For he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls. For the times they are a-changing. Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new, and if you can, lend your hand. For the times they are a-changing. The line is drawn, the curse is cast. The slow and now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, and the first one now will later be last. For the times they are a-changing.
לא, פה. ד' י'. שיל ד' י'. אבל תני לך פתרות עכשיו. 1, 2, 3. ככה, שיל. לא משנה, אז זה אני לא רוצה להשפיע עליך. כל אחד עושה, זה עושה בדרך אשכנזי, זה ספרדי, זה הרבה יותר. He's Chabad way. If I want to show him something different.
That's right.
If he doesn't not show now, he'll be sure in a month's time.
So, is it done? Are you there?
Yeah, Lauren.
The main man now.
כן, להוריד. אתה מוריד קודם כל, אתה מוריד.
Where's your mommy? I don't know. Yeah, she's probably there. That's what I'm doing.
And brought him strings and selling wax and other fancy stuff. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and falling in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
Shem, I'd like to wish you a mazel tov and hope that tefillin will bring you aliyah and chizuk and be echad me'am. Looking forward to having part of the minyan. Baruch Hashem, looking forward to the final day when you become part of the minyan.
Yeah.
Shukach.
Hello, Mishikos. Mazel tov. This is me. I'm on the other side of the camera, but I'm making this art piece on this side, so I can also be in the movie. Mazel tov, my boy. My latest bar mitzvah grandson. Mazel tov. I love you.
מזל טוב, שם. בהצלחה, עוד בריאות. תהיה צדיק. אני אוהב אותך. מזל טוב.
Shem, the pasuk says with regards to tefillin, "V'haya la'od al yadcha l'tochot einenecha ki chozek yad hotzianu Hashem miMitzrayim." This is in the box of tefillin with the first two parses of the Shema. The first two parses of the Shema are akin to the tefillin of the Rosh, which is all about the person's intellect, cycle, service to Hashem, obedience to Hashem, and this is talking about Yetzias Mitzrayim, where tefillin shall yad the person with his actions, what he does in order to mental such an occasion. Just a little story. I'm doing this about the Holocaust. One man who, when he came before the examination, when they wanted to separate him from other Jews in concentration camps, he took his tefillin, the garden, threw it, and it went into the roof, went into the ceiling. Next day, somebody found it and gave it back to him. And he had it for months until he was moving to another concentration camp. Everybody used it. Your Zayda, your Zaydi, puts on tefillin every day. Whenever he goes, he places the tefillin. When I went overseas in 1972, I talked about tefillin. It's a tremendous symbolism of who we are as Jewish people. And it's a wonderful occasion that you come to the Kotel on the day, bring your whole family, magnetically attracted to you, that come down and share this wonderful symbolism. I want to say, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. With this tefillin, we should try to stand up.
This should be a beginning of great things. The tefillin should be your best friend wherever you go. And you should have tremendous simcha and achas. Mazel tov.
שם, מזל טוב, שיהיה לך את כל הרוחות בעולם, אני מאוד אוהבת אותך, שיהיה לך בר מצווה שמח, שרק תגדל, תחזק ותצמח.
כמה שאתה נפלא, כמה שאתה בן הכי צעיר והכי נפלא שלי, אני אוהב אותך. כל השאר כבר נאמר וייאמר להרבה הרבה שנים. תודה, תודה שאתה בן.
On this momentous occasion, we are so privileged to be able to share it with you. And please God, may we all, as a family, share many simchas together. I love you, we all love you.
עד עכשיו היית המתוק של המשפחה, הוא שמביא שמחה לכל המשפחה. אני מברך אותך שאתה שלך לעשות את זה,
מזל טוב והגבר. מי בית?
Shem, Mazal Tov. Mommy loves you so much. Mommy's so proud of you. From the moment you were born, Mommy was so happy. And more all the time. Mazal Tov, שתגדל לתורה חופה ובשמחה.
And falling in the autumn